Okay, time to check out the frame alignment. First things first, I want to see if the rear triangle is even and not bent. I'm not sure if you can see that in this light, but I have used the string method, whereby you have it going from drop out over the head tube, back round again to the other drop out. And the way I find it easiest to measure is to use a set square, because the one I've got has got some measurements on it, and if you get it so that the line that they've cut for each measurement matches the line of the string, you can make sure you get it parallel. And by my calculations, using this method, the line is 20 millimeters either side, therefore telling me that the frame is square and true. So next thing I'm going to do is take off that rear derailleur hanger that I suspect is bent and see if it is. Okay, the derailleur hanger is off. You might be able to tell from this that it wasn't exactly an easy process. What I discovered was that one of the screws had the hex head in it rounded off and bore the signs of somebody who had tightened it up using a Torx head. So I had to ferret around, find myself a T10 Torx head, which, given that it is for a hexagon adapter, which is a weird size, 6.3 millimeters, none of my spanners fitted on it, and I didn't have a small adjustable spanner. So out I went and got my socket set out and found a imperial socket that fitted. Then I had to put the socket adapter on to fit it to the drive, but that enabled me to get it out. And guess what? My suspicions are correct. We've got a nice bit of flat glass here to put it on, and you can probably hear, maybe even see, that there's a lot of rock going on there, which tells me the derailleur hanger is bent. So I'm going to have to try and straighten that to keep it as a spare, but what I will also see if I can do is get hold of a new one that isn't likely to give out where it's bent back. Okay, so let's have a look at the rest of the frame. Okay, so apart from a bit of paint loss around the dropouts where they've been clamped onto the wheel, they look okay. But there is one thing that is going to pause this project to check out how I can ride a smaller frame, and it's not something I was expecting. What we have here is where the gear cables go in. You've got some lovely little adjusters in the frame so you can adjust the tension. And lo and behold, they don't move. So we've got a steel thread in an alloy boss on an alloy frame, and clearly some galvanic corrosion has gone on there. Now, I'm not one for applying brute force because things tend to break and create yourself more work. Given that this isn't the only bike I have to ride, my preferred option is patience, heat, penetrating fluid, more patience, more heat, more penetrating fluid, more time, more patience, more time, more patience, and then a bit more time and patience. And I will get those out without damaging them. But it might take a few weeks. So what do I do next? Well, given that this frame is probably a little on the small side for me, I have a couple of options. I can get on with another project, or I can possibly use the components from this one to build up onto a larger frame that I have knocking around in the garage. That is a giant frame. So I wonder what I'm going to do. I'll have a think about that and let you all know in due course.